Ever get that feeling? Like something's gone from,
Yeah.
legendary to, well, maybe a little less legendary. Like that band everyone was obsessed with back in high school.
Oh, totally.
Still around, still touring, but now they're playing like the county fair circuit.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
But today, we're kind of diving deep into something similar, the evolution of Saturday Night Live. Is it still the cultural powerhouse it once was?
Yeah.
That's what we're here to unpack. So we've got two really fascinating pieces for this deep dive. One is this article. It's dissecting SNL's upcoming 50th season. And the other, a review of this new behind-the-scenes movie about, SNL's creation, backstage drama, wild stories, the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
So, our mission here, if you want to call it that, is to figure out how SNL became this cultural phenomenon, this like titan, and equally important, where does it stand today? And one thing that really struck me, especially from the movie review, was how the writer described early SNL as Warhol-esque. What at first I was like, wait, Warhol? Like soup cans and Marilyn Monroe? But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. SNL wasn't just making fun of TV. It was like they took the whole medium, shook it up, and turned it into this totally unexpected art form.
It's a really, really apt comparison when you really think about it. It's the 1970s, and TV comedy was pretty safe, pretty predictable. And then, bam, SNL explodes onto the scene with this raw, almost rebellious energy. It was comedy for people who were, like, tired of, being talked down to. No wonder it became this, like, instant sensation.
Totally. Even today, I mean, you really can't escape SNL's impact. I mean, how many times have you caught yourself channeling your inner Debbie Downer?
Well, all the time.
That character who always points out the worst case scenario.
Right.
Total SNL classic. And that's just one tiny example.
And the alumni list, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, Bill Murray, Eddie Murphy, Tina Fey, the list just goes on and on and on. It's incredible to think about how many, like, comedy legends basically got their start on that stage. SNL wasn't just a show. It was this, like, launch pad for some of the biggest names in, like, all of entertainment. And that legacy of, discovering and nurturing talent, it's as much a part of its DNA as the actual comedy.
But here's the thing, though, about legacies, right? They evolve.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a better example of that than, like, the rise of social media.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. We've gone from gathering around the TV for a full 90 minutes of SNL to, like, dissecting and sharing our favorite 3-minute clips online.
Yeah.
It's like a whole different ballgame now, isn't it?
It really, truly is. And I think that shift, it changes, like, everything, The kind of humor that works, even the way sketches are written. There's this pressure now, Maybe even, like, an incentive to create these, like, really quick, shareable moments that go viral. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. It's all about that, like, instant meme, that shareable soundbite.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, nuance and satire, those take time to, like, really land.
It's true.
But a punchline, right? That's like instant gratification. Perfect for the, the internet age.
And it's so true. And you can almost see it playing out on SNL these days.
Yeah.
Remember when Kamala Harris announced Tim Walz as her running mate?
Oh, yeah.
Social media went crazy trying to guess, like,
Yeah.
who would play him on SNL. And tons of folks were suggesting Jim Gaffigan for the role.
Right.
Which, I don't know, he kind of looks like him.
He does. He does have a little bit of a resemblance.
Yeah.
But it felt a tad reactive, wouldn't you say?
100%.
Like SNL was taking its cues from, like, Twitter.
Yes.
Instead of the other way around.
And it's not even just, like, about the casting choices either. Sometimes, like, the actual content, it just feels driven by, like, what's trending online.
Yeah. It's this, like, really interesting tightrope they're walking.
Oh.
On the one hand, right, being in tune with, like, what's generating buzz online can make the show feel, more immediate, more relevant.
Right, like they're part of the conversation that's happening.
Exactly. But on the other hand, it also kind of begs the question, has SNL become, like, too focused on chasing these, like, viral moments? Have they, like, sacrificed some of their edge for, like, the likes and the shares? And that, that kind of ties into some of the bigger criticisms that, the show's faced recently.
And of course, we can't talk about, like, modern SNL without, addressing the elephant in the room. Or maybe it's the llama in the studio, if we're going by that movie's description.
Right.
But anyway, it's no secret that some of their recent host choices have been, well, let's just say controversial, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
It's like, wow.
It felt like every other week there was a new, like, SNL protest brewing online.
Right. And it sparked like this whole other debate about like what is SNL even supposed to be anymore?
Yeah.
Right? On the one hand, you have people who are like, "Hey, it's comedy, lighten up." But then you have others who are like, "No, but these specific casting choices, they felt like more about ratings grabs." Like they're trying to stir something up
Yeah.
than like actual satire,
Yeah.
It's like, what are they trying to be provocative, or are they just hoping for like a viral moment with a side of political influence? Who knows?
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder, though, like if you were in charge of like booking hosts for SNL.
Who would you pick? Like, would you go for someone totally unexpected, someone totally out there? I don't know, just food for thought. But anyway, with all of this kind of swirling around, right? SNL is now like gearing up for this massive 50th anniversary special, huge milestone.
Huge.
And yet, I don't know, am I the only one who feels like there's this like weird disconnect? Like SNL is this like iconic institution, but it also feels, I don't know, kind of stuck.
I think that's a really, really astute observation, honestly, because it's like they're simultaneously bigger than ever, but also like struggling to stay relevant at the same time.
Yeah.
It is like a fascinating paradox they have to navigate, and it kind of makes you wonder, where they go from here, right? Do they try to recapture that like edgy, unpredictable energy of those, early days? Or do they just lean into this like sense of being this beloved, if slightly predictable institution? It's almost like they need to figure out how to be the like cool, slightly chaotic, fun aunt at the family reunion.
Love that.
Right. The one that everyone like looks forward to seeing,
Yeah.
but also like, they might tell an embarrassing story after like one too many cocktail.
100%.
Can they recapture that magic, right? While still like appealing to a generation obsessed with TikTok and memes, it's a question only time will answer. But one thing's for sure, the story of SNL, this like ever-evolving comedy phenomenon, it's far from over. And for one, I can't wait to see what the next chapter holds.